As you know from Echoes of the Atlas announcement, in this expansion we've rebalanced all Ascendancy classes. 3 of them, Inquisitor, Deadeye, and Elementalist, have been reworked, with the remaining classes received some numerical changes. To help you plan your builds for the launch, we've compiled all the changes to the Ascendancy classes in this news post. Okay, so Brutal Fervor got removed attack damage, attack speed whilst leeching. Increased maximum recovery per life leech. Damage taken while leeching. Masterful Form, maximum fancy charge, but they changed the duration modifiers. I mean, where is Masterful Form? No one's gonna take this. Oh, you get 1+ fancy charge. No one's gonna take it. Overwhelm, they removed the base crit to 7.5, and well, they increased it. Endless Hunger, they just add attack speed whilst leeching to the Endless Hunger. That's fair. That's fair. At a 20% rate rather than the breach 15% there. Impact got doubled. Headsman, more damage against unique enemies is removed. 20% more damage with hits and ailments against unique enemies. Attack damage life leech doubled. Attack damage life leech doubled. Duration changes and they just they just buffed it. So Slayer's still terrible. Slayer Summoner. Gladiator. Painforge, they removed the increased damage if you've taken no damage from hits recently. Blood in Eyes, they made the attacks have a double chance to bleed compared to before, and they put up 15% buff to the chance of blind enemies against bleeding enemies. Righteous Violence, they've added 20% more damage with bleeding instead of chance to bleeding. They actually removed, they nerfed Gratuitous Violence a lot. Oh. Attack speed block chance, 2% chance to block attack damage. And, was dual wielding or holding shield, so just straight up attack speed block. Okay. That's how the attack speed. See? Same thing in the other one. And same thing on the third one. Champion. Inspirational. Remove the effect of non-curse auras from your skills. You will never ask 20% increased movement speed is removed. Instead, they're doubling the effect of non-curse auras from your skills. Hunt supporters. Impales you inflict last an additional hit. 20% chance to impale enemies on hit with attacks, and impale you inflict just 2 additional. So Master Metal was kind of gutted. Unstoppable Hero, they put 20% attack speed while you have 45, that's doubled. 500 plus armor and evasion while you have 45, which is halved, and remove the attack damage. Conquer, they've buffed almost double the reduced damage you've taken if you taunted an enemy recently. Enemies taunted by you deal 20% less damage, is doubled. Ailment against other. Okay, okay. So you lost the region, but no. Hunt supporters actually seems really good. I mean, based to this, it feels like the bleed glass still viable. Absolutely. I don't see that being a problem with these changes. Increased effect to 45, but remove the attack damage. This is fine. Champion's fine. There's no reason to worry. To the ass assassin. Assassin. Noxious Strike. Oh my god. Oh, okay. So we got 5% multi, but lost 50% increased damage on poisons with Noxious. Opportunistic, they reduced damage taken while there are at least 2 rare enemies nearby. They removed movement speed when you killed and reduced damage taken while there are at least 2. So they doubled this and took away 20% movement speed. Are we gonna... Okay. Toxic Delivery, critical strike chance per poison affecting enemy up to 2%. So they just increased the base per poison by 0.1, and they removed the damage taken from damage over time, which is whatever. 20% fizz as extra chaos against poison enemies is removed. Mistwalker, gain elusive and crit, 50% increased elusive effect, 50% chance gain. Oh, so you gain 100%, whatever. 50% increase attack speed while cast while elusive. What? But we get double the effect of the elusive compared to before. Movement speed while at maximum power. Oh, they removed that. Okay. Oh, well, yeah. Okay. Okay. So 30% movement speed is gone. Increased fire charge rate. Nobody cares about duration on the charges. When are they gonna learn? They even lower damage over time across the board. You removed even the movement speed here and gave you increased elusive effect. What the fuck, dude? I mean, we're still getting elusive. Pretty massively buffed though. And elusive. Where's the numerical numbers? Where's the cap on it? Highest one you get cheap. You get dodge and movement speed when first applied, and then it decays. So you basically get surges of movement speed, and then it goes down, and surge of movement speed, and then it goes down. I don't think it's going to be that big of a difference, but no. This will definitely impact poison bills, that's for damn sure, as well, with the Noxious Strike and Toxic Delivery. I mean, this is massive. As BV, Blade Blast, Blade Fall Poisons, all of that got actually really hurt by this. That cast be gone from it? Yes, that's true. Saboteur. Born Shadows. Blind on hit. Instead of 25%. And increased damage against blinded enemies is gone. Explosive Expert. 40% increased crit multi against burning enemies, but the removed area. Oh no! They really don't like BL miners, do they? Well, BL miners is just getting nerfs every fucking league now. Okay, but then again, I kind of like if they were to move shit across to maybe streamlining traps a bit more, because it's kind of been shit. This is interesting though. Crit multi against burning is gone, so miners don't have to get a little bit of burning and fire damage on the crits just to get that buff. Okay. But this is big for BL though. Holy shit. Holy fuck, dude. BL miners. That shit has aged like milk. Well, you still 40. Sorry, my bad. You still have 40 against burning. Sorry. Half asleep here. Pyromania. Regenerate life percent for each mine detonated. So they just... What the fuck? Okay, so they took away the 20% reduced mana cost and reduced mana reservation of traps and mines. That's what they took away. And they compensated by giving us twice as many percent the regen per triggered minor trap for the same cap. Well, that's an interesting decision. Perfect Crime. You gain 10% increased damage for each trap. I'm not even going to bother reading this. Well, I guess I should, because traps are not fun to play. They removed cooldown recovery rate for throwing traps, damage for each trap, chance for traps to trigger additional time is gone. No, they buffed it by 5%. Reduced mana cost of skills that throw traps. Okay, so they kind of moved. Where is it? They moved this in here and gain 10% increased damage for each trap. Okay. Chain reaction, 50% increased cooldown recovery rate for throwing traps. Skills used by traps, and 50% increased area of effect. So that's a big ass fucking buff. 50% cooldown recovery compared to 15%. And then 50% increased area. This is what I was talking about. Like, trap builds might actually be worth bothering. And they made... Oh! Okay, look at this. 100% increase effective auras from mines, with 150 from Demolition Expert. Or Demolition Specialist. Increased area effect for each mine. And then we have Demolition Specialist, 150% increased effective auras from mines. But that doesn't work for BLs. Doesn't matter. Bomb Specialist. You gain 5% increased air effect for each mine, which is what's 4%, I think. Yeah, 4%. 25% increased mine throwing speed if you detonate mines recently. Mines 25% detonation speed. Shit though, yeah. Ah. Okay, so they really fucked over mine builds. The Trickstarrrr. Weave the Arcane now has 5% more mana, 10% chance, a higher chance to recover 10% mana when you use a skill, and remove the reduced damage taken 4 seconds after spending a total 200 mana. Okay, and then it was the Ghost Stance changes. 3% reduced damage taken per Ghost Shroud. When hit, lose a Ghost Shroud and recover energy shield, you get 5% of your evasion rating. And they removed the chance to evade while you have an energy shield, or remove the reduced damage taken per Ghost Shroud and made that into 3% rather than 2%. And buffed the ES recovery, and they removed the movement speed while you have energy shield. Prolonged Pain removed the poison duration, that's whatever. Escape Artist got a nerf and increased attack cast per Ghost Shroud by 1%, and they also removed the chance to dodge spell hits if you've had energy shield. They really fucked over the hybrid tricksters. What the fuck? And all the movements was gone? Patient Reaper lost its damage over time, and who will ever take Patient Reaper now? They buffed Harness the Void? What? What? Okay. I mean, no one's gonna take this. Nobody cares about this. Ever. Ever. But this is stupid. Like, for those of you who don't know, Harness the Void is one of the best Ascendancy nodes in the entire game. It is such an insane node. And they buffed it. Then again, they cut and everything else, so. You don't care about Prolonged Pain. You go through Harness then. Fuck. Tank cast speed, increased damage, but in remove damage over time. Okay, well that's fine. And cast speed, frenzy charge. Duration, they removed. No, they just buffed it. Yeah, Patient Reaper is better for the dot builds, correct. Jugernought. Undeniable has half the accuracy rating. Increased attack speed per 150 accuracy instead. And then gain accuracy rating equal to twice your strength. Instead of equal to strength, they doubled that, half this, and brought that down requirement, or prerequisite down by 25%. That's pretty big, actually. But you lost increased accuracy rating if you dealt a crit in the past 8 seconds. You lost increased damage if you dealt a crit in the past 8 seconds. Rating charge is okay. Nobody cares. That's everything that was reasonable. Pain Reaver, 30% increased attack speed if you've been hit recently instead of 25. Crave the Slaughter got 10 plus the max range. Blitz has 8% reduced strike chance per blitz charge, rather than 10% reduced critical strike chance per blitz. Physical attack damage lift each per second got tripled. That's actually pretty big. Okay. Chieftain, 25% increase area effect while you have a totem. 50% fist damage taken as hits from fire instead of 10. You lost a regen. Common War's Herald, 2% damage double damage leads to life instead of 1%, right? 100% increase effective buffs granted by your active ancestors, which is twice as good as before, but we did lose the area of effect while you have a totem. Occultist. We have here Withering Presence, 15% more cast damage, but they removed damage over time multiplier exactly, but they actually dropped it by 5%. Remove that AoE for totem. Yeah, I saw. Malediction, when you kill an enemy, for each curse on that enemy, gain 8% of non-chaos. They just removed this part, and nobody cared about it. Profane Bloom, cursed enemies your immediate shield have 40% chance rather than 25 to explode. They doubled the regen on Vile Bastion. Frigid Wake, same change that they did to Withering Presence, 5% lower, but affects everything, not just the dots. Forbidden Power got buffed by 1%. Nobody cares. 10% increased chaos damage instead of 5% chaos damage time multiplier. That's a big change, actually. Bullshit. Same thing with a cold approach. You have Elementalist, Shaper of the Storms. Your hits always shock. All your damage hits can shock. Shocks from your hits always increase damage taken by at least 50%. 25% more effective lightning element you inflict with hits if the highest damage type is lightning. Shape of Winter is the same thing, but with the chill. Reduced action speeds 15%. 50% effective cold elements with hits with the highest damage type is cold. Chills reduce action speed by a maximum of 40%. That's actually pretty big. Shaper of Flames, your hits always ignite. All damage your hits can ignite. 25% more damage with ignites. You inflict the hits. The highest damage type is fire. Whatever. Fire, multi, LE, and then they removed all of these things. Modifies. Summon golems are immune to elemental damage, but they removed the increased golem damage per summon golems. They've really got the golemancer, dude. Holy shit, I did not expect this. 20 primal ages. When allocated, primal ages can take 100 damage per allocated notable passive skill. Other ages skills are disabled, and they remove the elemental damage leached and the damage cycling by defense and offense from elemental damage. Leech of the Primordial, 25% increased damage per summoned golem. Summoned golems are resummoned at 4 seconds after being killed. I don't get this. Why the fuck does this exist? This is such a stupid fucking modifier. I don't even get it. Why would it be good for a golem to be resummoned automatically after 4 seconds with such an easily resummoned minion? I just don't understand it. It is so fucking retarded. Please. This is something we would like to see on Spectres. Beck's helmet. Actually not a bad idea. Summon golems are immune to elemental damage and increased damage per summon golem. It's been removed. Pendulum of Destruction. I hated this one. Gain convergence when you hit a unique enemy no more than once every 8 seconds. 60% increased area effect while you don't have convergence. And okay. That's actually pretty cool. I like that. You have passively increased area effect if you hit a unique enemy, and then you're going into. I like that. Actually, like that a lot. It's 30% more elemental damage the last 4 seconds. You get 30% more damage, and you have 60% area when you don't. That's a good way to deal with it. I've talked about this before. I hate buffs that are cycling or pending, bouncing, right? So you get good clear, and then when you hit the boss, you get more damage instead. That's perfect without doing any gem switches. I like that. Mastermind of Discord. Exposure you inflict applies an extra 25% to the affected resistances. That is so crazy. Regenerate 1% mana per second if you inflicted exposure recently. Removed penetration of the heralds. Increase effective heralds and mana reservation of heralds. This is crazy. 25% just straight off the bat. Exposure is not a curse, which is unaffected by curse effectiveness reductions. Actually, really, really, really fucking big. That shit's big, boys. That is very big. Deadeye. I mean, occupying force, mirror archers are not attached to these. They become sort of like turrets. +2 maximum number 7 mirror archers. Cannot summon mirror archers while near your mirror archers. Windward, less damage taken per gale force. Lose all gale forces when hit. Pretty good damage. Mirror charge duration. Pretty damage attack speed. Same with those. Removed this. Modified. Here we go. Focal point. Fast deadly. Increase the effect of your marks for targets. 25% less damage taken from other enemies near your marked enemy. That can work very well in the 10 boss room. You put that up on the least dangerous boss, and everything else will deal 25% less damage. That's big. Marks you inflict are not removed from dying enemies. Gain 1 gale force when you use a skill. 15% increase effect tailwind on you for gale force. You and your allies have tailwind. Instead of the evasion and the skill up to 100%. Endless munition skills fire 2 additional projectiles instead of 1, and they remove the AoE and accuracy. Rupturing critical strikes, which inflict bleeding, also inflicts rupture. And they removed all the other bleed stuffs for it. Far shot, projectile barrages have no spread. Okay. and remove the projectile speed. Ricochet predicts a 30% chance to be able to chain when colliding with terrain. Instead of the damage per remaining chain. And then this is generic. Mark shields 20 cast speed. Yeah, far shot looks pretty cool. Raiderrr. You have onslaught. Yep, you have onslaught. And 50% increase effect. You just have onslaught. Avatar the Chase, 35%. They just buffed this by 5%, didn't they? Evade melee attacks during onslaught. Okay, so that's a 5%. And evade projectile attacks. They actually remove the attack damage during onslaught. Does it matter when you get 50% increase in onslaught effect? Onslaught is what, 20? So that's 30%. This node here is 30% attack, cast speed, and movement. That's 30%. This node is a pair of boots. This node is a pair of boots and a haste aura. This node right there. Then you get this one for even more effect and evasion. And even more there if you want to. Jesus fuck. Avatar the Slaughter, 10% increased evasion. For frenzy, that's 2% buff, 1% buff on the movement, 1% buff on the attack speed, 2% buff on the attack damage. Way of the Poacher, they remove the attack speed from there. Oh, that's fair. Quartz Infusion, 50% chance to dodge attacks and spells, and you have facing instead of on kill. Okay. Okay, so they instead of 10% dodge attack, they get 15 dodge attacks and spells, but you lost the 40 LE damage. Avatar the Veil, nearby enemies have firecall and lightning exposure while you have facing, applying -20 to those resistances. Nearby enemies have 20% less accuracy rating while you have facing. That's pretty cool. But we lost the movement speed. Dodge spell hits while facing, and nearby enemies have firecall -15, so they buffed it by 5%. Same thing with the accuracy. Yeah, perma facing and also, that's correct. So now we have the Pathfinder.
Pathfinder.
Poison to reflect during any flask effect, a 30% chance to deal 100% more damage. That's a nerf, isn't it? It was like lower before, or higher before, wasn't it? Poison to inflict during any flask effect, 40% chance to deal 100%. 30 now. When you kill a poison enemy during any flask effect, nearby enemies are poisoned. I mean, this is better. 10 fist converted, 10 fist as extra, 10% more chaos damage with attack skills, you lose virulence 15 slower. This is a huge nerf. Veteran Boyer, 5% buff to it. Okay. 40% of physical damage converted. 40 converted, 50% more chaos damage with attack skills. Chaos skills a 30% increased area of effect. But they nerfed that one. Chaos skills a 50% increase. Yeah, that's a nerf. It's 30% increased damage, whereas this is more chaos damage with attack skills, and it's a 40 conversion. Plus with of course. Okay, so they just shuffle that in here. This one's pretty fucking cool. Master Surgeon recovers 6% life when you use a flask instead of life recovery from flask. The Inquisitoria. Basically, it's overall nerfed damage and buffed defense and all sentences, but it's a big nerf. They most likely shifted around in sentences, so the nerf isn't as it seems. Yeah, it seems like that, you know. Instruments of Zeal. In fanaticism. Fanaticism. Zeal, am I blind? There. Fanaticism grants spells you cast yourself 75% more cast speed, 75% reduced mana cost, and 75% increased area of effect. 4 seconds on reaching maximum fanatic charges. You gain 1 fanatic charge every second if you've attacked in the past second. You only get 1 per second. I thought it would actually be more consistent. Lose all fanatic charges on reaching maximum fanatic charges. Wait. So once you reach maximum fanatic charges, you lose them, and then you gain fanaticism. But how long do you have this increased cast speed? Is it only for the next cast? Oh, it's for 4 seconds. You gain fanaticism for 4 seconds. Okay, so you basically smack an enemy for 4 seconds, and the next 4 seconds you're going to cast spells with 75% more cast speed, 75% reduced mana cost, and 75% increased area effect. So essentially, you want to use 2 6-slings, you want to use a 2-handed weapon, you want to use a chest, sling BF, and then you BB with insane AoE. That's an interesting approach, actually. Your charge works, yes, but you can sling BF. But you can definitely go with wands. You can make a wonder and do some attacks, right? It's 75% increase air effect, 75% more cast speed. I'm guessing you'd be better off with applying something that would consistently do damage after you've casted it, with 75% more cast speed, like a brand, Orb of Storms, Formation. You power siphon, then you discharge. Frostbolt Spellslinger with Ice Nova. And then spell echo that shit, dude. Cast that shit and then you just fucking go nuts. Why would brands not be ideal? How are brands not benefiting from more cast speed? The hit frequency of a brand is scaled by your cast speed. If you apply a brand, it's going to hit the enemy faster if you have more cast speed. So why would that not be a problem? Or does that not affect with more cast speed? Brand doesn't get affected by more cast speed? Oh, fuck that then. I'm not a big brand player myself. Hydrosphere, Frostbomb, Elementalist. That sounds fun, actually. This is actually pretty interesting. I mean, what I feel is like Smite, Orb of Storms, Cyclone, then you Shock Nova. Wait. Orb of Storms and the Tempest Shield. You smite for 4 seconds. You put Orb of Storms up, and then you just hold down the Tempest Shield key and watch everything die. It's gonna be fun to see how this goes, at least. Then we have Instruments of Virtue, 10% more attack damage for each non-instant spell you've cast in to 8 seconds, up to a max of 30%. Battle Badge. Add a spell damage equal to the damage of your main hand weapon. I think this is really cool. I like this spell battle mage approach. Highest path, Consecrated Great, causes life regeneration, also recover energy shield for you and allies. And then remove the 200 flat and remove the attack and cast speed from Consecrated Ground. Sanctuary, Consecrated Great applies 50% increased damage taken. This is insane, actually. First off, we lost the mana, and we got this one here, 10% increased damage taken. We got 15%. So what's really cool about this is that this is a debuff on an enemy. So the way damage calculations work in this game is very, 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 very straightforward. So to go through the mathematics behind it, you have your damage calculation gives you X amount of damage. X amount of damage is then applied on the enemy, which has a Y defense. That calculation is then the out and the end damage you're doing. Now, when an enemy has a debuff that says they take increased damage, they take X damage, mitigated by Y damage, but also increased by Y damage. This means that your already pre-calculated DPS or damage output is then multiplied with whatever percent of increased damage taken the enemy has. This is a post-damage calculated multiplicative damage modifier, which means that the 15% increased damage taken by enemies is a multiplicative damage modifier, which is absolutely insane, because this stacks with things like Ball of Faith, for example. And they buffed that by 50%. Righteous Providence, 1% increased critical strike chance per point of strength or intelligence, whichever is the lowest, and you get 50 plus to both of those. To remove the critical strike chance there against enemies that are affected by no elements and 40. Okay, so this is the crit one. There's a critical strike chance per point of strength and intelligence, whichever is the lowest. What happens if you have both then? Will it give you both intelligence and strength then if they're balanced? Or will it just randomly take one of them at that point? That's about it. They nerfed the crit multi across the board, that was expected. Hierophant. Pursuit of Faith gives you 100% increased totem placement speed, but you'll lose damage per enemy killed by your totems recently, and you'll also attack and cast while you have a totem. Conviction of Power is 4 plus the minimum endurance and power, and +1 to maximum power charges and maximum endurance charges. So basically you have 4 endurance and power charges when you have this node. This gives you 4 power charges and 4 endurance charges, but you can't consume them because you have a minimum. So you can't actually consume a charge that is a minimum charge. Interesting. Ritual of Awakening, 5% more damage per summon totem, but we lost totem placement speed, more damage per summon totems, because I was summoned a totem and summons 2. We only got more damage per summon totem. Increase effective arcane surge, immune to ailments. I mean, this one's pretty cool. This one's shit. This one's cool, but you'd rather have this, to be honest. This one's shit. Illuminated Devotion, 30% increased area effect while you have arcane surge, immune to element. Oh, they moved this one over here. Increased area effect while you have arcane surge, but you instead lost the area effect while you have arcane surge, which was buffed 5%, and we lost spell damage while you have arcane surge. But we got 50% there. Mana regeneration was nerfed 2%, but we got 8% here instead of duration. 2% nerf. Effective arcane surge instead of 10% spell damage. Guardian, this will be interesting. Oh, not that many changes. Nearby allies have 20% increased attack and cast speed and movement speed, which was a buff by 5%, but we lost 30% increased damage. Okay. This is interesting because I prefer to play my Soul Rest build as a Guardian sometimes. This is good, but this was really nice as well. We don't really need movement. Time of Need, 80% reduced effective curses on you. 80%. GHAZZY, okay. Every 4 seconds you regenerate 30% life over 1 second instead of every 5 seconds. Instead of removing curses and reduce, we have 80%. And there will always be high-end builds like Pro was saying, correct? Harmony of Purpose, 20% chance of gaining power frenzy or endurance charge and hit rather than 10. That's actually pretty big. Duration, whatever. Oh. Second last, we have Ascendant, and then we're going to go Necromancer, boys. Y'all ready? Okay. Frenzy charge, power charge on kill, 20% instead of 15. 20% higher recovery rate of life mana when you kill enemy by damage over time effects. 20% chance to gain 50. The 5% buff on the Harness the Void, and then remove the mana when you use a movement skill. Elementalist exposures you inflict applies an extra 20% instead of effective resistances, instead of just straight up penetrating and increase effective arrows. I wasn't prepared. I thought the Elementalist would be better on the Ascendant. 10% chance to dodge attack, and you have facing on the Raider version rather than the attack damage and 4% dodge. Pathfinder version gives you 4% life when you use a flask, and they remove the damage penalty 6% of enemy elemental resistances. Yeah, you still get the gold and stuff there. Okay. Well, Pathfinder was shit. Every 4 seconds you regenerate. Okay, so just adjusted that one. Effective marks, and your nearby allies have tailwind. What? You and nearby allies have tailwind as a Scion or a bot. This is so fucking good. I like this. It makes Aurabots very good for very specific builds that then go for tailwind boots or achieve it by themselves. This is really nice. I like this. Huh. Okay, so 25% chance of blind enemies and hit with attacks. The Fortified Champion is instead of 10% on melee hit, it's 50%, 100% chance to taunt and hit rather than 25. 15% increase effect on non-crit auras rather than the increase movement speed. Okay. Increase effect of Arcane Surge on you instead of increased spell damage while you have Arcane Surge. Elusive on crits instead of chance to poison, or elusive on kill. Reduced maximum recovery life per leech was the only thing removed from Slayer. That's pretty good though. Not that people do sign with that type of builds. Damage penetration 8% elemental resistance was added, but they removed the crit multi against enemies that are affected by elemental ailments, and penetration was 6% was buffed. So okay, so this was valued to 2% penetration. Fuck off. The Saboteur got the region percent increase. Okay. So, what you all been waiting for. Necromancer. Can we just take a few seconds to appreciate the comment here? Embrace the serene power that is undeath. Essence Glutton. Gutted. Remove 20% max mana. Corpse pack remove the increased damage if you consumed a corpse recently. Mistress of Sacrifice got 10%, but the problem with this is that they removed 30% mini duration. This is nasty. Actually nasty. Nah, just slightly annoying for enemy weapon. Skeletons, you can make them last a minute. Fine. You had to resummon them because they would die of boredom because there's nothing else to kill. It's not a problem. Enemy weapon you want to have consistently up though. Mini damage aura effects. They nerfed us with 5%. Come on, man, haven't we seen enough? 5% damage, 5% damage, 5% damage, 5% damage. 5. What? Where's the nerfs? That's it? There's gotta be something hiding. No, there's gotta be more. My inbox was full. I was spammed on Discord. I even got fucking emails. Is my mods been synchronizing and organizing some sort of spammage on me? Telling me how bad the Necromancer changes were? Except for Cockade kept telling me it was fine. Okay, let's just go back to my build guys. Let's see. Okay, so with this information, this could do 20 million Shaper DPS, this could do 20 million Shaper DPS very easily. This is going to be able to do a lot more than that. This is going to be able to do 50 million. This, I'm not really sure about that yet. This one's going to be able to do 60 million Shaper DPS. I mean, I thought Necromancers would be taken off from the meta. Gonna be fucking 30% players playing Necromancer again. Oh, you can't. Diminus, you cannot tell Reddit that they're overreacting. You see, Reddit is a bunch of inbred fucking basement dwelling cunts. And that's just the way it is. You can't tell them to not overreact. Once you understand that, you just don't bother arguing with them. The way it is. Reddit is just a bunch of incel simps. Nerfed Ascendancy plus the Spectre, and then we're waiting for a nerf on the gem as well. How is this nerfs? It's 5% here and there. A little bit of duration. Some mana that people never cared about. This one people don't care about. The only actual nerf to Necromancer Ascendancy is 5% less damage on the smaller nodes. And 30% mini duration. Well, 20 in the end. There's nothing. There's nothing. This is not affecting us. We don't give a fuck. We can do so much DPS anyways, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, it's not even less, it's just reduced. Kind of AV duration nerf we're looking at. 12 or 13 seconds. My math is not completely fucked. And that's on a low body state, by the way. As your golemancer. Golemancer is dead. Damage, like golems are dead. Okay, that's just the way it is.